everyone. Welcome back to Excellency Mid-League Week 5. We're here with Glacial Mingos versus Degenerate's Exiles, and we're all tied up at 1-1. An explosive and exciting Game 1, a snooze pause fest Game 2. What will Game 3 bring? The draft will be the deciding factor here, as we're really looking to see what these teams will change up going into Game 3.
I just think that, maybe they'll ban out Glacial Mingos side will probably ban out the Trundle, the Thresh like they did just now, and the Orianas, I'm expecting the last ban. They have been banning that the first two games. On the side of Degenerate Exiles, Jarvan Morgana standard bans, they don't want Mingos to get that. Their support and their jungler is, dark technology that they use, the Demonic Embrace jungler coming out from Glacial Mingos as Nocturne, last ban coming out for Glacial Mingos, and another kind of pseudo-scaling jungler. I think Nocturne is in a better spot than Skarner in terms of those level 6 junglers. But yeah, if Xin Zhao gets taken from GM here, Glacial Mingos, what is DEX going to go on to as GM? They're going to take the Amumu away? No.
I think it'd be a good move. I mean, again, it's a flex pick. You can move it jungle or support. You can kind of do a lot with this, and it's just super strong, but they're flexing around. They're not exactly sure what they want to pick up here first. But you're talking about the Xin Zhao into the Xin Zhao matchup, or Xin Zhao into X jungler matchup. I think a good option is usually the Trundle, right? But that's obviously banned out. The J4 is also banned out. So I think you're kind of down to like your tier 2 picks. You're looking at Diana, Olaf, Kane's a little too solo queue based and won't be a lot of that early impact. There's a few options, but I mean, Lee Sin's also on the board if Sovereign plays it. But again, it's a harder pick. And I think it's a lot harder to make work than the Xin Zhao or the J4.
You also have Echo, who got buffed recently. You can try to pick him. I mean, there's like a lot of weird picks. Predator Gragas is up. Like you said, Predator got recently buffed. I've seen Graves being picked into Xin Zhao a little bit as just kind of like that. If we're gonna skirmish, like you better be on point. Yeah. If you're gonna skirmish, let's go, because you better be on point with all your abilities, because Graves is gonna be moving around, shotgunning, and everything like that. As GM takes the Amumu away. Don't know where it's going to go. They might play it support, might play it jungle. It's probably the first time. I think it's the first time they've played Amumu in Excellency so far. DEX actually going to take Ezreal Karma, and this Karma can go really, really anywhere. Got buffed recently with her shields. I believe her E cooldown and the actual value of it, the shield value is higher. So it can go top, mid, can also go in the support role if it needs to. GM going to go Soraka here, and Soraka is somebody that is like, I wouldn't say sleeper OP, but she's so good now that she cleanses Grievous Wounds and then heals you, because her base heal is so high. And throw everything out that I just said, because Lulu is being picked up.
I mean, I think this is still an even better pick. I mean, now you're going to really struggle to, one, find backline access, but two, actually deal with this Jinx when you get there. We saw what Chandler Clark can do in this pick last game. 11, 0, and 7, I think, by the end of it all. Insane damage numbers. Even finding Cryosmap snipes with that Super Mega Death Rocket, so a very strong pickup here. Looks like we'll be seeing some bot-centric play for the Glacial Mingos. And Amumu, I believe, will be going jungle, but we've seen crazy things from this team in Game 3 scenarios, so we'll have to wait and see what they go for.
Zach being picked up from Degenerate Exiles, and, I like it. Better engage, earlier pressure. Like, once you hit level 3, you can really start ganking. And then level 4 or 5 is even nice, because you start putting more points in the E. You can start ganking from unique angles, and if Glacial Mingos isn't paying attention, they can get ganked from Raptors, they can get ganked from Wolves, or behind Tribush. I mean, there's so many interesting angles that Zach can come from that it can throw a lot of teams off. Glacial Mingos gonna ban out the Corki here as Vladimir Vane. Those are just last game bans, right? Like, Degenerate, you know what? I don't want to see that again. I never want to play against Vane top again, is probably what Invasive Picks is saying. GM banning the Lissandra and Corki out. So two mid lane picks that Tex really likes to play. Dex has counter pick. They will probably save it for their top laner. Innovative Picks probably going to hopefully live up to his name. TF is a very strong mid laner in this patch right now. And I think in general, because of his roaming ability, his ability to affect the map, and just what he can do once he gets that 2-item, rapid fire cannon plus Everfrost, or if he goes Everfrost, he can go Ludens, can go anything else.
Yeah, this smells to me like Degenerate's Exiles is looking to lock in a sort of, I was talking about in game 2 a little bit ago, a a 1-3-1 style composition. They're saving this counter pick so they can get a strong split push in this matchup up against whatever Glacial Mingos decides to lock in here. We the Victor Azir, so this could be the Victor top lane, which might be super interesting to see, but Kench on the table. I mean, they got options. I mean, really, what they have so far above is a very strong team fighting composition, and they'll round it out with an Urgot.
Yeah, TJ Linear loves this Urgot, actually. He has played it before, and I think he has a bunch of solo queue games on it as well. I like Urgot. He recently got buffed. Not a super major buff, but his Q, I believe his cooldown got reduced, and I think the slow is a little bit more. So he's just able to have that little extra stickiness on. So this is probably an Amumu jungle, like you said here. Urgot top, Jinx, Lulu bottom, and the Victor mid. On the side of Degenerate Exiles, you have Ezreal Karma bottom lane, Malphite in the top, Zac jungle, and TF mid. And it's not a real traditional 1-3-1. I think what Degenerate Exiles is going for is just Twisted Fate is going to get Ezreal and Malphite so far ahead that, you know, they can just start winning team fights when they group, right? Or they could go for like a 1-4 composition. It's really nice because you can have really nice gank setup with Zac, Twisted Fate, onto top, onto bottom. You can look to 4-man bottom lane. I mean, Jinx, Lulu, not the most slippery of bottom lanes, right? You do have the shield, you do have the whimsy, but Jinx is just super, super immobile, and they can just look to dive if they want to.
Yeah, always an option here. Gonna require them to be able to push out and get Prio over the side of their bottom lane. Ezreal, Karma, not a whole lot of wave clear on that side, so I would expect Glacial Mingos to generally create Prio on this bottom lane. But I'm also really curious to see what Adam Suzuki can do on the Amumu. I mean, I love it as a jungler. I think it has insane gank power. Obviously, you mentioned earlier, the ultimate cooldown it just really sucks. I mean, I think it gets a full 2 minutes at level 1. So you drop it once and then you won't have it until like you're level 9.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll have to see what he can do on the pick. I mean, you're really gonna have to decide like, this is the moment that we need to win a fight and drop that ultimate ability just to make sure that they can secure that, obviously. But again, if they can get this Jinx ahead, Victor, obviously a very strong scaling pick. This is a very standard front-to-back team fight composition, playing into a team that doesn't really have any dives. So they're also looking to try and like either just double knock up that Jinx with the Malphite Zac and try and eliminate her with whatever follow-up you can, or play the traditional front-to-back themselves, look to pick off Urgot, and then they just continue throughout the rest of the fight with a little bit of poke from the Ezreal coming out.
Yeah, well, it's also nice on GM size. They have a bit of train control, right? The Victor Gravity Field, Chaos Storm, like he's a deceptively, I would say, hard mage to kill, or immobile mage, quote unquote, to kill. Just because he could, if he goes that Zanya's, if he goes early Hourglass or early Stopwatch, he can drop Gravity Field, drop Chaos Storm on top of himself, and then just stall out fights for as long as possible. And it's really hard walking into all of that. He has lasers, he's got gravity fields, he's got all that fun stuff. And then Urgot on the other side is just a big beefy tank, has his Q, has his shotgun knees. Like, it's gonna be very hard for Dex to just kind of walk into the objective. Malphite will probably have to get a flank. TF's gonna look for like a flank TP or a flank ultimate. But if GM is on the objectives before Dex, you have to believe they can just force them and take them and turn, if they want to, with this Amumu, Curse of the Sad Mummy, with the Jinx hitting the backline, and Urgot having that execute potential ready, and multiple fears.
My only worry is just this, what feels like a lower damage composition from Dex. Zac could build some AP into his kit, Malphite could build some AP into his kit, but really, Ezreal is the primary damage threat on this team composition, and that's gonna be tough. I mean, he got nerfed recently. I feel like his items just aren't as good as they used to be. So he really has to just land everything to try and match the damage output that GM has against them.
Yeah, it's okay to have single damage carry comps, but if it's like an Ezreal, like you said, it's he has to scale. He has to get 3-4 items. His items to get nerfed, like the Divine Sunder interaction. You know, Triforce isn't that nice on him. Like Duskblade used to be like an early mythic. He has the flexibility to pick up whatever mythic he wants, but there's no like definitive best mythic for him right now because of what just happened with the nerfs, and he doesn't really synergize well with any of them, I would say, other than maybe the Triforce Divine Sunder, a bit of it like.
And welcome back to Excellency Mid-League. We're here with Game 3. Glacial Mingos winning the last one in a dominant fashion and looking to continue their success here as they got another level 1 cheese planned out. Adam Suki over the wall.
Suki!
Looking for the bandage toss. There it is. He's got two of them. Lands past the flash. Innovative Picks goes down. Another first blood to the First Blood Kings.
Yeah, and really nice patience on Adam Suki's side. Gonna hurt his clear a little bit, so he's gonna probably bug his bot lane for a hard leech. Goes the bandage toss, and yeah, just waiting for Malphite's flash there, as Malphite has Predator on his runes here. Waiting for Malphite's flash is super nice, right? They sneak in, creep up into that tri-bush, they get the vision down. Oh, a bit of a counter invade.
I don't know if this is the move. So
I like it.
I like it, but they don't win level 1. I think Nick Swantek will be the target, pulled in by Sovereign, immediately blown up. They answer back. Sovereign picks it up. Chandler Clark is the next target as they continue to push forward in this jungle. Chris Van has arrived. Comes the golden card on Adam Suki. Will drop a ton of damage. Here comes a teleport. Coming in from Victor. Oh god, double TP. They're coming in on the ward. They're pulling off the CLG play. And now Coldbox on the disengage, trying to run away. TJ Linear burns TP and is going to have to walk all the way back to top lane. But it's going to be a late jungle start for the Zac. We'll have to see what he can do here. Is now Coldbox level 1 gank going in. TJ Linear wants to continue the fight. He's got the Ruby Crystal for the extra health. He's going to dash forward. 2 autos and Coldbox chunked to half at the beginning of lane phase. That's not the way you want to start.
Yeah, all of his potions are used. Nick Swantek could possibly look for a kill if he has, you know, enough damage. Hits level 2. Coldbox, all of the utility is used. All of the resources, are used for Coldbox. And Nick Swantek is sitting on 3 potions here. He can trade super aggressive, use all of his resources, and force Coldbox out of this lane.
Man, Mingos never disappoint.
No, they don't.
The gate. I love that they always go for a level 1 play. It feels like there was a 5 point in game 1, and after that they said, you know what, we're just gonna do some crazy stuff. Or sorry, no, it wasn't a 5 point in game 1. They went for the Scion cheese.
Yeah,
so,
the Scion cheese in game 1, 5 point the game 2, I believe.
Yeah, and no, game 2 was the bot lane invade where they went for Varus, I think. They 5 stacked at least.
Yeah, they tried.
Mingos always have crazy level 1 plays, but Coldbox is in a 1v1 here. Pick a card on the blue, gonna land some damage, but Nick Swantek manages to stay alive, and it's a game of inches here in middle lane, as Twisted Fate does still have the flash and could look for a play, but we'll just back TP back into lane, and we'll have a slight advantage here over Nick Swantek.
Yeah, Swantek doesn't have the TP up because they backed after the assist, after the invade, and he got the assist, was trying to buy something else. TJ Linear got a late start, but now he's actually ahead in CS, which is even weirder. If Innovative Picks can pick up this whole wave, then he should be back up, just because of how late Linear came to lane. But yeah, what you said is coming into fruition, right? Chandler Clark and Gabe have that push, have that natural prio into that bot lane, and there's not much Ezreal Karma can do. If Karma's not hitting her Qs, if Ezreal's not trying to aggressively trade with WQ with Karma's E, they're just going to get shoved in. They're going to get 0 priority, and looks like they're actually gonna pick up the Scuttle Crab here as well. Yeah, they're pinging it out.
The Ruby Crystal was actually such a smart buy, because Malphite, in order to get any kind of lane dominance, relies on Q harass. But if you have the health pool to just kind of tank through it, I mean, it's going to come down to a game of, does your mana pool beat my health pool? And the answer when you have a Ruby Crystal at level 1 is no.
Yeah, and Malphite's Q mana, I believe, is like 80 mana level 1.
It's crazy.
Yeah, if you put more points into it, I believe it actually increases. It doesn't actually go down or stay the same. So he also has Predator, which is even weirder. You would think he would go for... I guess you can't go for the Grasp here because you're not looking to really trade, melee range against him. Yeah, it's an Urgot, right? But Comet would have been nice here just for that extra lane harass, but... Yeah, I guess Comet gets countered by, or Comet plus Q gets countered by TJ Linear's E. So picking the Predator here just allows him to have that more upfront burst damage in these team fights, which is probably what he's looking for, especially onto this Jinx and Victor, who are very immobile. It also allows him to have a little bit of better gank setup for Sovereign here. You know, if Sovereign's ganking from super far out, he can just pop Predators. Even if he's at his lane, at his tower picking up minions, he can pop it and just get there faster than most people would expect.
I wanted to point out that Zac's E, that Elastic Slingshot, is deceptively interruptible, and they've got 3 really good abilities for it actually. So TJ Linear on Urgot can dash forward and stun him and actually pull him back into the team, which is probably the best one on their team. This innovative fix gets a cheeky backstop. But on top of that, they also have a Mumu bandage tosses. If Mumu can just walk at him and bandage toss him mid-air, stun him, and then just hold him in place. And there's also Lulu ultimate. If Zac gets close enough to one of the targets, they can just pop him into the air and actually deny him from knocking up their target. And then, obviously that's good disengage on top of a health bonus to whoever they're trying to dive. So a lot of options here. I'm curious to see if they'll just be able to utilize these to completely nullify any attempt to engage from Sovereign. I think innovative picks has to be the first in, and then Zac can follow up on top of it.
Yeah, you also have Colebox here who can kind of pseudo be primary engage if you see somebody that's kind of out of position, or he can look for a gold card into Azanya's. I think the interesting interaction in the top lane is going to be the Urgot E, because I believe it's pseudo unstoppable or something like that, where if he channels it, or if he does it right as Sovereign's first gank is coming in.
Unfortunately, he just killed the minion with his E, so he has nothing to pull it back to. Will get stunned up, will get ulted. Still has his passive, so he should be fine.
Look at that.
Just a walk forward here with the gold card is just enough to... Oh! Okay. Adam Suki makes the attempt.
Nobody saw the flash. I don't think anybody saw the flash on the Degenerate's Exile side, so they might think he still has it. Flash Q, wide right, unfortunately, or I think a wide left, actually. But yeah, you just saw how hard it is to gank Victor. He dropped Gravity Field, dropped Chaos Storm, and just returned so much damage.
And really, I think a big part of it was that Sovereign just missed most of his stuff. He eases in, kills the only minion he could have pulled him back to, lands the slow, but really that's all that he had left. That's all he managed to get off in the gank. Maybe he got another auto off, but no damage coming out, and Flute Loop's in trouble here. And lots of damage coming out from Jade. Did drop the Ignite, and he's able to just walk on out, so flash for Ignite, and chunking out the support is going to be good here, as they're able to now shove this wave in, and probably just pick up this dragon off the back of it.
I don't know what happened there. Gabe Koshki was alone, and Sovereign I feel like he was ready in that tri-bush, ready to eat him, but just didn't go in, just kind of let bottom lane trade it out. And like you said, flash for heal, Fox Zero uses the heal. Yeah, I don't know, maybe miscommunication, maybe Sovereign was thinking something else, maybe he thought Amumu was on the backside ready to counter gank. After last game, if you're Sovereign, you probably think Adam Suki's everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Anasuki was actually in the area, like you said, so he could have come down if he did commit to that. But both these junglers now hitting their level 6 power spikes will have those team fighting ultimates available. Adam Suki is obviously going to be devastating here if he can line it up on either this bottom lane or towards this Twisted Fate.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy, super strong in these dragon fights, even if either team decides to start it. I think this is the latest it's gone where the first dragon has been taken. Both teams just willing to leave it up on the board, or leave it up on the field, in this case on the Rift, just to kind of use their lane dominance or their lane pressure, right? Again, we see small gold leads, not 40 CS this time, but 5 in the top, about 15 in the mid lane, and another 10 in the bottom lane. And that's just because Sovereign just his inability to get any ganks off, and just Adam Suki trying to match best as he can and going undisturbed, essentially, in his farming phase. It's going to be really scary once, Sovereign looks to gank a lane here or there, and Adam Suki's just right there with the Curse of the Sad Mummy, like you said, stops it, turns it around. I said the turnaround power for Amumu and his counterpunch ability is so strong.
Do you want to hear a prediction? I'm predicting right now, Twisted Fate ults, gets behind bottom lane, and a double TP play comes out from Mingos to clean up the bottom lane fight. I think it's going to happen. They're on the same timer right now. They just now both came available. And with Twisted Fate being level 6 and just waiting for the play to come through.
Yeah, pings are going out. Nothing really substantial, though, right? Nobody's pinging objectives. Nobody's pinging anything. They're just looking, for a window around. They're just looking for a window to really team fight. Oh, as the Jinx Rocket comes out, doesn't hit anything, and TJ Lanier?
And here it comes, TJ Lanier getting smited, will be slowed twice, as now the onslaught of the horse going to come through. They want to pick this one up, and Sovereign will drop his own ultimate. Let's bounce to claim it. That'll be another kill in the top lane, but not necessarily a high value pick here, as that's just going on a Malphite.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be going for a tank build.
Lucidity.
I don't even put the Lucidity. I think he's just looking for that item cooldown, the Predator item cooldown. Oh, Sovereign.
So Sovereign's opting into this fight. I'm not sure this doesn't play. He has red buff, which will be big. Adamsuki is denying as many blobs as he can. In the second, the Q does come through. Adamsuki chasing forward. Nick on the side will be tagged up by that Arcane Barrage and now getting completely stunned up. The entire team has arrived. They want to kill off this Zac, and they're going to do just that. Adamsuki will claim the kill. And that was opted in, actually, from that Elastic Link Shot by Sovereign, so not playing it the way he wanted it to. Coolbox underneath the tower will get tagged up, but he's able to escape. And we're going to go to a short pause here to try and fix this item bug. We'll be right back with some more League of Legends. We are back. Hopefully items are fixed. Cross your fingers. This new patch has been funky with spectators, but we'll get there, everyone. We'll call out items if they don't end up showing up. Cool box, though. Being forced underneath the tower, no ultimate, no teammates available in the wings to help. Might actually end up losing part of this wave, as while he isn't underneath any kind of dive threat, there is, of course, just minions to lose.
Yeah, and this gold lead that has come out from Glacial Mingos has just been, you know, on the back of their ability to just play so aggressive, right? Sovereign unable to get any ganks off. Tower plates being picked up in the top lane, in the bot lane. You see 2 plates have been picked up. In the mid lane, a plate is about to be picked up, and quite substantial gold leads if you look across the lanes, right? 10 or 10 to 11 for TJ Lanier. Nick Swantek has about 20, and then Chandler Clark also has about another 10 to 15 here. So, you know, these gold leads that Glacial Mingos have been playing, you said it yourself, these guys are very good laners. That's Koscheck going in.
Ooh, this might not be the fight. Another great Super Mega Death Market picks up the support, and Chandler Clark has just gotten excited. Gonna dash forward here as Adamsuki looks for the lockdown. Fox Zero forced to flash, Arcane shift away as Sovereign now intervenes. Low, no elastic link shot. It will finally come on out and able to escape over the wall. Adamsuki wants to continue the chase, and with the Lulu speed, he's almost able to do it. TJ Lanier in a 1v1 here against Innovative Picks in the top lane. Chunking them out. Urgot wins these over time as Jason underneath his tower will finally find the disengage, and Urgot gonna try and maybe claim this jungle camp off the back of that.
Yeah, he wants to take the Grom or the Krugs here, and has picked up 4 plates for himself. Ooh. Almost picked up 5. Lanier's dead.
Most likely. We'll see if we can get a trade back here. Innovative Picks did get ulted by the Urgot there, but I think the timer's already expired. TJ Lanier doing what he can, but he will fall. 3-man rumble to the top lane will pick up that proxying Urgot. So they move back across the map, and let's see what they can do here back in these other lanes. Ooh, a great engage here from Sovereign, actually going to pull back the Victor. Karma's not here on time just yet. Finally going to drop the field, but it's in the wrong position. Sovereign might be able to find this one. A flash forward from Fruit Loops with the Mantra Q will pick up Nick Swantek. And a great punish here in the middle lane.
That was a pretty dirty angle. I didn't actually think that was going to hit. He does the flash sidestep into the Mantra Q, and yeah, quick 2 kills coming out from Degenerate Exiles. Swantek did pick up 3 turret plates, though, for that because of Coldbox's roam, and I think that was Coldbox's second ultimate. So far, he's 1 for 1, right? His first ultimate didn't really amount to a lot. His second ultimate, obviously, secured a kill into the top lane. Innovative Picks ended up grabbing that and picking it up. He's just going to get more tankier, and what you said in that draft, it's really like, I see it now, right? There's nobody really on the side of Degenerate Exiles who can do a lot of damage. As I say that, flash gold card. Oh my!
Sometimes you don't need damage, sometimes you just have numbers, and 3 beefy boys show up in the mid lane to pick that one up. We'll drop the Unstoppable Force, we'll drop the Let's Bounce on top of it, and they will find the kill for all their efforts. Fox Zero just dies.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Ezreal took a W to the face and then was like, okay, I'm just gonna let you get the turret and let you Super Mega Death Rocket me in the face. Probably didn't think the cooldown was up after that bottom lane fight, but it has been some time since. And their 1 win condition, their 1 damage condition is very, very far behind right now, right? 30 CS, 2 kills, like is on the puzzle piece components for his mythic, but it's not there yet. Jinx is already on Zerker Greaves plus Kraken, 201. She's going to be affecting these fights a lot more, and these early Rift Herald is coming out, or the second Rift Herald, I believe, is coming out for Glacial Mingos here. And looks like Cloud Drake is going to be coming up in about 2.5 minutes as well. So I don't know. It's Colbox really has to use this next ultimate for Fox Zero, I have to feel like. If not, if he uses it for his tanks, if he uses it for innovative picks and he just gets another tank really far ahead, the damage that is on the side of Glacial Mingos is just so intense, right? And TJ Linear has built-in armor shred onto his Q, so if he gets that onto Malphite or Zach, you have to believe he's just going to wreak a havoc.
Yeah, I compliment their drafting as being really smart earlier, but I'm not sure if this Malphite pick was the right answer. Is this the immediate dive here? Look at the lockdown. Look at the damage. Chandler Clark follows up perfectly with Adam Suki's lockdown, and they're able to just pick up Twisted Fate underneath his own tower. And all of a sudden, that Twisted Fate play you were talking about isn't going to happen for another while.
Yeah, he gets dove under his shirt, essentially. The aftershock that comes out from this Amumu, or no, he actually went, apologies, he actually went Conqueror in the jungle, so looking for those more extended trades or extended fights, but even then, he's still so tanky. Has the Forged Fire cape.
Ooh. Okay. Here comes your tank far ahead. Innovative Fix just kills Urgot there.
Yeah, and that was a thrift shop Malphite, by the way. Man, that's Bammy Cinder, Glacial Shroud, Kindle Gem, has no magic mantle. Like, that's not a full item by any means. Colbox has the gold card, cocked and ready, used it onto the minions. Everfrost comes out, another Super Mega Death Rocket comes in.
Not going to land this time, as you can only get so many of those a game, and Chandler Clark already picking up 2, I think, with Super Mega Death Rockets. Super clean with them, as just always seeming to find a player just standing in the wrong place at the wrong time, or just picking them up off the back of a really good trade. So underneath tower there against Ezreal, and won't be the kill this time, but again, this team is just starting to fall further and further behind, and I'm really now just looking at innovative picks and Sovereign to find some kind of crazy knock-up combo to win themselves a fight.
Yeah, I mean, Innovative Picks Ultimate is coming back up very shortly. They can get Gabe Koshki here. Burns the Flash.
And they actually forced out a TP from TJ Linear here as well. Foxier did just no damage. He said that was a WQ. It just does nothing. Look at Ezreal trying to take down this Urgot. He just tickles him. And they're able to just force here onto Flute Loops. Take out the Karma. And you see pings going towards this mid lane tower, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to get anything back off the back of this teleport.
Yeah, and you saw the idea that was in Degenerate Exiles' head, right? Let's send all 5. We have 2 beefy tanks. We can try to contest this dragon. Unfortunately, Flute Loop stayed a little too long. She went for the Mantra Q onto the teleport, which didn't really make any sense. I feel like if you just Mantra eat everybody out and then they re-engaged on with Sovereign and Innovative Picks, they would have been able to contest this dragon, but instead she gets caught out. TJ Linear, I believe, picked up the kill there as well. And yeah, Ezreal's just doing no damage. He's sitting on a Divine Sunder and a Tear right now, and that single damage composition or the highest damage deal on their team, when he's far behind like this, it just feels really bad. As Colbox, he's gonna die for this.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Nice moves. All right, he's able to get away from that one. Adam Suki flashing and missing the Vanish Toss again. I'm gonna harp on him a little bit. That Vanish Toss hitbox is really forgiving. You don't really need to put it exactly on where the enemy champion is. You can kind of aim further to the left or right. So I'm surprised to see him missing so many of these, but again, just good disengage there from Foxier. Good bush checking with his Qs to make sure he's just to get picked off immediately. Able to keep himself alive and will be able to try and pick up some of this wave here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I don't think Jinx has backed since that dragon is being taken. She's sitting on quite a bit of gold. Yeah, she's sitting on about 2,200 gold right now. So she's sitting on pretty much a full item. Possibly going into... It doesn't look like a Runan's actually, as she picked up the double longsword. Yeah, Malphite's here.
Bam, smack. Actually flashes away from that, but I still think it's going to be enough. Innovative Picks is going to slowly run her down. Malphite gets the shutdown, unfortunately. But again, this guy is kind of carrying the team. Innovative Picks is just finding pick after pick with this ultimate and with the power of the Predator Malphite. So they can continue to do that, but at this point in the game, you don't really need to have Chandler Clark in the side lane there. So I'll have to see if they manage to kind of course correct here and stop doing that, as Adam Suki is actually looking for the fight. Chris is side lane, he does so much damage. Sovereign's in the back line, gonna try and pick up Adam Suki. They do manage to do just that. 3 versus 5 now. Or 3 versus 4 now. X1 will be the target to try and pull him back on in, but drops so low here in this choke point. What can they do here? Trying to stun up this He's slowly forward. He's just gonna come on into the fight. Finally gets dropped, but he just takes so much damage from 3. No! he got another one! Chandler Clark, a third Super Mega Death Rocket kill of this game from across the map this time to make it an even fight in the jungle.
Yeah, and with all that gold that she backed on, she ended up going LDR second, and I really love that adaptation. You see that the tanks are super fed, you see that they have a lot of armor, it's going to be your job to shred them. Victor also picking up, it looks like a Verdant Barrier second item, so probably looking just to get that Banshees going and stopping any Malphite ultimate, like immediate Malphite ultimate, so they have to kind of work for it before they can, you know, really try to catch out in its Swan Tech. I expect Chandler Clark to pick up something like a GA fourth item after Rune ends, possibly. Has the Lulu ultimate available as well, and Lulu going for that Moonstone. I don't necessarily agree with that. I kind of like Shurelya's here. Just allows your team to move around and navigate fights a little bit better. Lets you run away from the Malphite post ultimate and lets you run away from the Zac. Chandler Clark dead again.
In a side lane. All right, I've seen this one before. How much damage can he do to this Malphite? He's tickling away. He does have Kraken Slayer, but Innovative Fix once again will claim the kill credit. CJ Lanier kind of just posturing up here. I think he's just flexing like he's got teammates behind him, but there's really just no one available. There's actually now Lulu and Victor towards this mid lane turret. Could try and pick this one up as Adam Suki's looking for the potential engagement. Could go for this one, but get swept away. Sovereign able to force him out. Nick Swantek, he's towards Malphite. Stealing away a lot of movement speed here. Might be able to chase him down, but he has no unstoppable force. Cold Box him in with the pick a card. He'll land a stun. Flashes away from the damage and the stun to stay alive. Nick Swantek. It will be Lulu ulted on the backside though. It's Adam Suki in the backline fighting against 3. Great Curse of the 7. He lands on a 2. And it will be TJ Lanier coming forward here with the Urgot ultimate. Lands the fear. Lands the execution. And now just continuing to walk slowly forward as Urgot does. Picks up the Zac on the passive. Double kill for Urgot. And they managed to finish off the... They did not finish off the Malphite on the backside of that fight, as Innovative Picks was actually able to escape.
Yeah, and a fight on two fronts there, right? You just saw Adam Suki and TJ Lanier creating so much space. Swantek and Gabe Koski able to stay alive long enough. Innovative Picks doesn't have the damage post R, right? And you saw Kolbach. He flashed in, gold carded, uses the Everfrost, and got the wild cards going as well, and just wasn't able to burst out Swantek. Going for that really heavy pick-based build, but they don't have any damage to follow up with it. You usually need like a high damage ADC, a high damage top melee, usually like a Camille, a Jax, just to follow up with that, you know, gold card as TJ Lanier and Innovative Picks slapping each other up. Wet noodle fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has the damage anymore, but he does have Sovereign coming through as well. He's actually going to commit to this one. That's a little forcing forward. TJ Lanier going to try and turn it around. He's got Chandler Clark on the side here. He's over the wall. No one's going to Jinx, but he has no Super Mega Death Rocket. Oh, he does! Oh. It's off cooldown. Sovereign blocks it. Might be able to escape now as everyone on the way out. They get a pick on a TJ Lanier. And some good awareness coming out from Innovative Picks to spot him out in the jungle and pick that one up.
Another dragon being picked up for Glacial Mingos here. A relatively late soul point dragon. Like I said, they kind of ignored the first dragon for the first, I would say, 12 to 14 minutes. Didn't really take it until, you know, around the 15-minute mark. So that's why we're going to have a late dragon soul. But once they get dragon soul, once they get that ocean drake, it feels like they're going to be so hard to kill, right? The gold or the kills seem even, 12 to 11. The gold difference is a 10,000 gold lead on the Mingos side, and the only reason Degenerate Exiles have been able to stall this game and get it out, as he comes flying in.
Good burst. Heal will keep him alive. Shield keeps him alive just a little bit longer. Here comes Arcane Barrage to finish him off. Sovereign now gonna be the target. Just immediately picked up, and Malphite's got no way back over this wall. Ultimate Burn trying to run away. Adam Suki here with lockdown on top of it all, and he's trying to juke out the Q, but he's just taking damage the entire way. Adam Suki ends up picking up the kill credit. Goldbox trying to force out TJ on the linear, but that was a full combo, and it took maybe a quarter HP off that Urgot.
At this point, you'd like to see Innovative Picks just probably pick up some AP, right? I mean, even if he can get like a Abyssal Mask just to increase his other teammates' damage, possibly. But going full tank here, it's nice, but
sure.
Beyond death.
TJ Lanier drinking him up. Flute Loops next on the menu, but he will not get anything else. Finally forced back towards his inhib, but being forced back to the inhib is not the sentence you want to hear if you're Degenerate's Exiles. Zac Engage coming in, immediately dropped by the damage here, and immediately locked down. 2 inhibs down, they have the Baron buff, and like you said, this just might be it. Chandler Clark here on the Nexus Towers do have an unstoppable force available. Will they go for it? He's gonna drop the Q harass, not wanting to commit just yet. Wants some more teammates online before he goes for it, as actually looks like they're happy to just disengage with this. I mean, they picked up so many towers, they have such a gold lead, they're easily able to just walk away and come back and try and get this final siege down. Bit of picks, stuck on some traps, the lockdown's coming through, just drops, no unstoppable force burn. That's the power of the Amumu lockdown, is he just cleans them up. TJ Lanier next on the current target here actually is finally being forced out, no longer able to just walk forward as Urgot does. But now the inhibitor, third one going down here potentially. Watch the slingshot in. Chandler Clark's very low. Amumu hits a 3-man mummy into the back line, but he's all alone and he has no mana. This wasn't the fight you wanted. Sovereign did pick up one, I think, himself, as Chandler Clark did go down there, but it's too little too late. Coolbox flanking with Twisted Fate, but he's got no teammates, he's got no damage, and finally he's got no health as the minions and Dick Swantek finish him off. One inhibitor remains. This will pick this one up. TJ Lanier free firing away a little by a little. He's no jinx, but he's got the damage regardless. His shotgun knees coming out onto these towers.
Oh, innovative pick!
Nick Swantek getting chunked out actually by a WQ from Ezreal, and innovative picks, trying to find the damage. Find the stun on the box here though, and Nick Swantek just stays alive. Look at all these shields. They just don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Fox Zero drops. Oh my god, that was disturbing. Double kill for Victor to clean it up, and finally the Glacial Mingos get the picks they need to win in Game 3.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of the dark technology coming out from Glacial Mingos. Lulu had a Gnasher's tooth at the end of that fight. Wow, just two dominant. Nothing that could really just cause a lot of pain and a lot of side lane pressure, like you said. And yeah, it's. I wouldn't say it's no surprise, but I can see why a team like Degenerate Exiles is at the bottom of the standings. They have the laners, they have the players, right? Like these guys aren't bad, right? Sovereign was okay in game 1. Innovative Picks did really good in game 1. He essentially won them the game. I mean, Colbox and Fox Zero were putting out the damage on the Varus and the Corki. Like, they have the players, it's just their drafting needs work. As you go on later into these series, you have to think of comp cohesiveness, team composition cohesiveness. How many damage threats do you have? How do you want to win fights? How do you want to play objectives? How do you want to play turret sieging? Like there's a give and take there, and it feels like Degenerate Exiles kind of just took one thing very, very heavy and then gave everything else away. They didn't have good siege. They didn't really have good damage share. They had a decent pick composition in regards with TF and Predator Malphite, but their siege was really garbage. Their objective setup looked pretty bad, right? Like even if they had the pieces to set up objectives really well, they just didn't try to.
Yeah, unfortunately, just falling apart there. I really do feel like off the back of 2 picks, that Skarn and that Malphite. So almost a really good look here for Degenerate Exiles, but even coming up with a 2-1 loss against the 9th seed, or as a 9th seed team against a 2nd seed team, isn't something you can be too upset with yourself with. So a few things to clean up, but I do think this team has potential, and I want to see more from them. I mean, I'm curious to see what Degenerate X, if they can overcome these issues in their draft and then just pop off in game like they showed us in game 1. I think that's that was the best you could expect against Glacial Mingos. They play the game so strange that you're kind of just forced to roll in the mud with them. They on the level 1 cheeses and the crazy plays they end up pulling and the picks they pull out. But in the end, I mean, like they came out on top and they played solidly. So just clean it up a little bit. But I really like this series, and it was a good look from Degenerate Exiles, at least in the very beginning.
Yeah, and we're gonna throw it, I guess, to a short break before we pull somebody in for an interview. So stick around. We'll probably get somebody from Glacial Mingos, and you definitely don't want to miss that.